Hey guys, it's Soundkiller, and today I'm really excited because I'm gonna be remaking RayVolpe's Happy Song here. So without talking much longer, let's check out what I got, and I'm gonna start explaining what I did. So when remaking this track, this drop here, it is very particular because there are three things happening at the same time. So we got this really cool pattern of a bass here, which is like the top part, the top middle part. Then we got this bass here, which is the body of the drop, the more beefy low end, and then we got here the screeching high end, just layered on top very quietly, and all together sounds something like what you guys heard. We also have here a really cool sub bass and some filler elements. So starting with the main bass here, what I did here is a very simple FM saw patch. And what's happening here, we have our main saw here, which is 2 octaves down. Then we have this oscillator B FM to, and then we're doing FM from B here from our oscillator number 2 with 6 semitones up, because I found that 6 semitones worked better and sounded more accurate than 7 semitones. And I have it up there at 69%. Very nice. And the post-processing is actually very minimal, so we have some distortion, some compression, and some EQ. And a really small tail of reverb, because when post-processing this bass, as you guys can hear, we added some OTT, some more equalizing, just to cut off a bit of the low end so it's very high mid, and some distortion to just crank the volume up a little bit and distort it a little bit by adding some saturation. And it's a really simple patch. It sounds really good. Then for our second bass here, what I did is I chose a spectral wavetable here, so REC number 4. And I wanted it very detuned, so I added some unison, just so that it fills up the low end a little bit. It sounds a little bit fuller on the mix. And then I added some modulation here, as you can see, with some filtering happening here with the high notch. And then some processing. The very important part about this patch is this filter here. It's what really gives it that characteristic, like that very pronounced pattern. Again, I added some hyperdimension for the detune so that it sounds wider. I added some distortion. I added some tonal delay. And some OTT with some EQing, just so that I can clean up the bass a little bit more. And then I added some more EQing here on the post-processing with some Pro Q, some OTT, and some more EQ there. And then for the third bass, we're doing basically the same thing as this first, instead of being modulated with a sharp attack. Now it's being just a static long bass. And I added some vibrato here by using the LFO into the fine tune. And again, distortion, compression, and EQ. And on the post-processing for this one, again, I cut the low end. I added some reverb just to give it a little bit of space in the mix. And I added some OTT right here. And then here we got the drums. So I got some cymbals some symbols here, and these symbols are really cool because they are by Black Lotus Audio. So these are Horizon drums. They are really good, high quality drums. If you want to have some really premium drum samples, check out blacklotusaudio.com. I'm gonna leave the link down in the description for Horizon. And if you use coupon code SoundKiller20, you get 20% off your purchase. So I added here these scratches just to fill up the mix a little bit. I added some hi-hats as well. And these hi-hats are mixed really nicely because I cut a lot of the low end, so I made them very sharp in the high end, and I added a little bit of reverb to give it a little bit more space in the mix. Then we got our kick and our snare. It's really punchy, very heavy snare. I really loved it. And then for sidechain, I did this trick that I learned where I have a really short click, something like this, which is being sidechained into a patcher preset that converts that audio trigger into a MIDI trigger that triggers this shaper box right here. And this helps a lot because FL Studio does have problems with the PDC, so sometimes there's a bit of delays between some plugins that you can hear different delays between one plugin and the other. So this helps a lot, this helps out quite a bit with that. And that's basically how I did this remake of the Happy Song by RayVolpe. So let's listen to it one more time. And there you have it, a really cool walkthrough on how to make this fun drop for your next headbanger. Anyways, this was Soundkiller. Thank you Black Lotus Audio for sponsoring this video. Don't forget, links are down in the description, and use Soundkiller20 to get 20% off your purchase to get some really awesome drum samples. Thank you guys so much for watching. This was Soundkiller, and I'll see you in the next one.